So we're talking about things that on impulse you just have to have, right? So this is the PeshKabz or Khyber knife, as the British soldiers called them. In the Anglo-Afghan wars, the British soldiers were terrified of these things. And it's from Afghanistan. Now it has a T back. As you can see, I can almost get my whole finger in that T. I'm sure Mad Shad already knows where I'm going with this. But the Vikings had a knife that, although it looked very different, it was similar to this. This T back here that goes all the way to the tip, it was made for piercing chainmail originally. So this was what you got up close with, got in the scrum, as they say, and would stab through your opponent's chainmail and obliterate him. A really good slicing knife, though. See how it's kind of shaped like, almost like, guess what? A French knife. Yep, like all the chefs use. So it has a little bit of a drop from the back to get a little bit of forward weight on it. So it really likes to be thrusted, but it has quite a cutting edge also, because it levels out on the other side. But anyway, the Pashtus really like to use those. They didn't take prisoners, and in the Anglo-Afghan War, this was probably the last thing a British soldier would see, because they executed all of their prisoners. And the Afghans really prided themselves in fighting with these things. They loved them. And after seeing it, I fell in love with them, I lived in Afghanistan for a long time, and I lived with the Afghans. I was kind of like one of them for quite a bit. And I really grew a fondness for that bravado, I guess, But I wanted a little piece of it, so I got one of these. It was kind of hard to get it back to the States, but, if you have connections, you can do it. Anyway, man, talking about a handy tool for if the power goes out forever, that would be one. You could literally use it as a chef's knife if you had to, or you could stab through body armor with it. Take your pick. Kind of gives it your good 2-for-1 use, It's not too big, it's not too little. It's like the perfect size. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a tool just like this came back into play, because it's a lot more agile than a machete, but it has the length of a machete. This thing would run circles around your typical machete, Now, how it would perform as a machete, probably not as good, but you could still use it in that capacity if you had to, I mean, you'd be stupid to get this thing dull smacking up trees, This one is a Damascus. It's kind of hard to see, but it does have the multi-layers in there. They're over time it's been tarnished and all that stuff. I mean, this is an original one. I have no idea how old this is. You can see it used to have the inlays on the blades and all that stuff, but oh god, my focus is going out. Great, there we go. Yeah, the spine has a, god, come on, man. Yeah, the spine had a bunch of filigrees and all that stuff on it as well. Yeah, it was fancy when it was new. Now it's now it looks a little more like a museum piece, but anyway, yeah. I got a feeling if you ever run across some dudes and you see one of them pull one of these things out, it's probably go time, Anyway.